Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. Thursday already, right? Yes, wow. And an almost hot weekend is on the way. Remember, I like to let you decide if it's hot because we get people that move from Texas and Florida here and say, it's not hot until it's 102. And others say, wow, this is hot for this time of the year. So I'll let you in on a little insight. A lot of us will be in the low 80s by Saturday. So you decide whether it's hot. That's why I put almost to keep myself out of the hot water with you. All right, let's get on into it. Also, and I wrote about this, you gotta give me credit. I wrote about this sometime this week or late last week. Beware of the phone apps with the cloud and the raindrop. In this kind of pattern, you might see it every day. I was just with a friend having dinner last night, and I like to kind of question my friends and my wife and my family. What do you use for weather? Other than, of course, MLive and lives from me and articles. But what do you use for day-to-day, minute-to-minute weather? And he was like, well, I use this app, but it's been saying rain for 3 weeks and it's never rained. So beware the phone apps, and human meteorologists still put it into perspective for you. Where I was going with this was tomorrow we talked about scattered showers, a couple of half-hour to hour showers. That still looks the case, and it might even be a little bit less than that. So here we go. So we are starting with some sunshine in places, and you can see the bright clouds in the UP and in Wisconsin. That is where the showers are. Hey, good morning, Liz Plotz and Don Bredow. Good morning from Port Hope, or to Port Hope, I guess I should say. Matt Fallett, thanks for watching, and Ed Schultz and Elise Wahlberg. Good morning to you folks as well. So we do have the showers off to the west. Better way to look at it, of course, is with the radar. Those are in the western part of the UP, and that is actual. This is the other thing that's happened in meteorology, and you're starting to get a real, grasp on this. But when it first came out, the radar forecasts, you almost felt like it looked so real that it was actually what was happening and what has happened, but it's really a futuristic thing. And that's what we go to next, is the future, the modeling of that same, say radar motif, okay? Let me get it in a good size for you here. Okay, so radar forecast through the day. Noon, showers western 2/3 of the UP. 5, 6 o'clock this afternoon, isolated shower inland. That's a real common area. Lake breeze makes it to the ridge in the middle part of the state, produces some, fancy word, orographic lifting. That means wind being shoved up a hill or a mountain to a higher elevation, and that causes some isolated showers. Tammy Kohlberg, morning to you too. Battle Creek, Steve Jakubiak, good morning. I think you are in the top 10 of joining us on the MLives. Carrie Draper, how does the first day of June look, or is it too early to know? First day of June, a little bit too early, but it looks like we're kind of going into a warming phase at that point. But to say sunny versus rainy, too early to tell. All right, so we're into this evening. Now we're at midnight. So you got some scattered showers with a few embedded thunderstorms. Tammy Kohlberg, we're going to get to the Memorial Day weekend, at least in generic terms, coming up here in just a minute. So hang tight with me, please, and thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. Okay, sorry, bottom counties. Thank you, Vern. I'm real slacker here lately. Just a second. There we go. Michigan is a tough shape for a meteorologist because I get the southern counties in, and then whoop goes the Keweenaw Peninsula, and then I hear it there. All right, so overnight tonight, showers. This is tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Showers in the eastern half of the state. Ann Arbor, the Detroit area, Oakland County, Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, the Thumb. Look at noon. It's dried out. So my thing is, tomorrow is not really a rainy day. Carol Beers, you get rain in Cadillac, probably overnight, a couple of showers. This is tomorrow afternoon, maybe a flare-up of an isolated shower in the Thumb, and then we go into Saturday. This is Saturday, 1 in the afternoon, and Saturday looks very nice, looks dry, and it looks, I guess what I would say is almost hot. Okay, so here's the big picture out toward Memorial Day weekend. This is Saturday. We've gone over that, dry. This is Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, morning into afternoon, Sunday evening. So could there be a stray shower? Yes, possibly. And can I just stop with the maps for just a second and explain to you? We're in the time of the year where we get these little lake breezes and we get 5-mile wide, 20-mile wide long little segments of isolated showers, 10, 15 minutes. I tend to not put those in the forecast. I consider myself what I have deemed over the 35 years, I'm a dry biased meteorologist. That means if there's a 10 or 20% chance, I don't tell you about it. It gives me a better chance of being accurate with more of you, and I don't have that CYA syndrome. You know what CYA means. Cover your rear end. 95% of meteorologists are, for some reason, wet biased meteorologists. Phone apps are wet biased meteorologists. That's meteorology. That means that if the model at a certain spot kicks out a 15% chance of rain or a 20% chance of rain, they put rain in the forecast for that day. They get burned way more than I do. I get burned occasionally on being a dry bias meteorologist. Whew, I feel better. Send me a bill. All right, so let's see, no questions here. Kelly Rowland, thanks for watching. And Charisse Fowler, hey, that's a pretty name. I like that one. Okay, so Sunday should be dry. Here's Monday, and I talked about this yesterday too. I'm just hitting everything today, aren't I? I can do no wrong. Uh-oh, that's the kiss of death for my forecasts. So this is Tuesday now, and remember yesterday we saw two distinct rain systems, Monday and Tuesday, and I mentioned that a lot of times these models have a bunch of pieces and then they eventually consolidate and it turns into just one rain instead of 2 or 3 rains, again giving us the image of the wet bias meteorology. But this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday afternoon into evening, Tuesday night. That would be a timing of severe weather. I'm not saying that the conditions are right, but it would be the timing and the look of possible severe thunderstorms. Then we go into Wednesday. Now we head toward the Memorial Day weekend, and to me it looks fairly dry. It looks like we start with the cooler phase on Thursday, Friday because of an east-northeast wind, and then as we go to Saturday we go to more of a southeast wind, and that tells me that Sunday we would be warming up. Maybe there would be a batch of showers Sunday or Memorial Day as we go into warmer temperatures. Now I don't sugarcoat it for you. I make you be kind of pseudo-meteorologist. And so we're going to look at the upper airflow the next 16 days. And remember, if the upper air is cool, we tend to be cool at the ground. And if it's warm aloft, we tend to be warm aloft. This is the weekend. And you've got this small-scale ridge from Texas into the Great Lakes. That's why it's fairly warm almost hot for this weekend, and a storm system and a trough developing out west that will kind of influence at least the first half of our Memorial Day period weather. This is Wednesday, and you can see that trough coming through. Remember I talked about Tuesday? The storm systems are ahead of the upper level trough, so that's a Tuesday, early Wednesday thing. And then as we go towards Saturday, you can see that the upper atmosphere is still a little on the cool side. Now we're at Sunday. Tiny bit troughy, but not stormy, not cold, not hot. And then we're at Memorial Day, and we're about back to normal aloft, which I would say leads us to about Memorial Day, normal Memorial Day weekend weather. So if I had to give an estimate right now, it's early, of what Memorial Day weekend will be like. It will be cooler Thursday, Friday, highs in the 60s, lows. You know, if we make it in the 60s, we usually drop to 50 or upper 40s if it clears out. Saturday probably would inch to 65 to 70. Sunday and Memorial Day probably would be about 70 to 75 degrees. And there probably at any one spot in lower Michigan will be maybe a couple of hours of showers sometime late Sunday or on Memorial Day. So it's pretty good looking Memorial Day weekend, and I would say that 9 out of 10 Memorial Day weekend, since it's so long and we're in the active storm track time of the year, I would say 9 out of 10 Memorial Day weekends have, you know, at least one shot of rain. Some of them we know are 55 and drizzly all weekend, and it does not appear as though we're going to be in that situation this Memorial Day weekend. Some of them have been 90 degrees, and it does not appear we'll be in that situation either. All right, so last thing I got for you are the actual real temperatures. Okay, here we go. So today we are pretty warm from Saginaw, Grand Rapids southward. Call it 75 to 80. Traverse City in northern Michigan, let's call it 70 to 75. UP with the showers, let's call it in the 60s. Tomorrow, because of the showers and the clouds in the eastern part of the state in the morning, we're looking at highs around 70, comfortable. You get back to the northwest, Cadillac and Traverse City, away from downtown Traverse City, and you warm up to 75-ish. And then Saturday, a lot of places right around 80, all the way up to the Mackinac Bridge, even the western UP maybe around 80. Sunday, temperatures could be in the low 80s in a lot of places. We'll call it 80 to 84 in lower Michigan. Again, look at the shoreline. Even the models know that the lakes are cold. They keep the temperatures colder over the lakes, and you see it go from red to orange to yellow right at the shore. So if you're going to be gallivanting around, I don't know if that's a good term or a bad term, but that was a term that my dad used to use. If you're going to be wandering around the state and heading to a beach, you better have a jacket with you. Hey, thank you, Cindy Wozni Warner. I appreciate that very much. This is Monday in the 80s. This is Tuesday ahead of the cold front in the 80s. That's a signature for possible severe thunderstorms way out into the future, but it's a general pattern recognition. And then remember I told you we cool off as we head toward the end of next week, heading into the Memorial Day weekend. This is Thursday. This is Friday. This model can tend to be too cold at 9 and 10 days out, but the upper air pattern shows me 60s. Likely on Friday and Saturday, 60s inching back to 70, and a little bit warmer after that as we go into Sunday and Monday. And I always think if we can get 70s a few days on the Memorial Day weekend and not have 1 or 2 days washed out with rain, we've done good, and I think we will do good this coming holiday weekend. So hey, have yourselves a great Thursday. I do appreciate you following me on MLive and joining me on these Facebook Lives brought to you by Consumers Energy. We'll keep it up until you tell us don't. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great Thursday. See you tomorrow. Bye.